Good morning, my fellow brethren. So this is Dario Fermaint coming to you once again, past master of Odenton Lodge, number 209. Changed up the scenery this time, running around doing errands. Obviously, we have lots of things going on in our lives, and finding the right time to do it is tough. So how do you maximize your time? Is by doing some of the multitasking, as they say. So, anyway, so we already had kind of our discussion about the 4 cardinal virtues, which, or at least my opinion on them, that we think that I think they're important to Masonry. Now, another thing that I wanted to talk about was kind of something that struck me one of the last meetings where we had a memorial service, So the memorial service in Odenton Lodge takes place at the beginning of the year to, commemorate those who have laid down their working tools in the previous year. And so this was our second year in a row. Turn that off so you don't have to listen to it. It's our second year in a row that we were doing kind of a celebration of the past masters who laid down their working tools. And because I thought of, last year I thought of past masters and kind of what they mean and kind of what they represent. And I noticed a common theme among several of the past masters and even living masters, right? Or living past masters. And they seem to have, like I said, a theme. And I noticed the theme, or at least in my mind, I made the connection to the 3 pillars, right? Of wisdom, strength, and beauty. And so I took that time to, I took a moment to just highlight of the past masters what I thought of them and which ones I thought represented particular pillars. One of the past masters, who laid down his tools was a great teacher. He wasn't just, very knowledgeable in ritual and memory work and all that kind of good stuff. He was a great teacher because he never criticized in public, right? He would always pull you aside after everything was over, because he always believed that the master was in charge of the lodge, and everything that the master did was what was correct, provided it wasn't illegal or something like that. When it came to ritual or any, order of operations or anything like that. He never criticized from the sidelines. He always would tell you after the fact. And it was good information. It wasn't like, oh, I can't believe you did this, I can't believe you did that. It was always, quote, next time, I would recommend that you do X or Y or Z. It was never to make you feel bad, right? Or hold something over you as though he were, better in some way. He was a past master twice, or he was a worshipful master twice, at least in our lodge. Commandery and all that jazz, right? So to me, represented that pillar of wisdom, as you can imagine. And then we had another past master whom was the light of the lodge, right? He was at every breakfast, every dinner, every party. He was oftentimes. I came into the lodge, 2011, I think it was. First person I met, right? And he embraced me from that moment. And that's the same story to everyone who have joined the lodge since 1985, right? He was just the light of everything. He was, he was always thinking about whom else we can include, right? He always thought about the widows, and he would always think about brothers who were kind of stuck at home and couldn't get out much. he would make recommendations for events that we can have to engage with the community, and he would always push for like daytime things so that we can include those members of the lodge and the Eastern Star who couldn't travel during the day or couldn't travel at night, and they needed to drive during the day, so very important. So obviously represented that pillar of beauty, right? And then we had another past master represented the pillar of strength, right? He was the organizer, right? I say strength not because he's like enforcing the law or anything like that, but he was the organizer. If you had a great idea, excellent, he wanted in, and he would make sure that you had the people that you needed, right? He would make sure that we were following the rules that we needed to follow, and then we were thinking about those things. So all that to say, I think that those pillars have this alternative meaning, right? And I like it. All right, I thought it was moving for me to make that conversation during the memorial service, and I think other brothers did as well, right? Because it's oftentimes that we will, somebody will stand up and make mention about a brother who has laid down their working tools and say some nice things, right? But I thought it meant a little bit more when we liken those past masters to those, one of those three pillars, because as the pillars themselves, are that foundation, right? Or supporting mechanism. That's what the past masters are supposed to be, right? Past masters are supposed to support the lodge, support not just the brethren, but the worshipful master and the officers, right? And the families, right? The widows and the rest of the extended family. So I think I thought it was an interesting thing to talk about. I put it to you and get your opinion. If you think it's a crazy idea, let me know. Or if you have a better idea, please let me know, because this is just my first idea, right? And I always like to say I've got the second best idea, right? Not the first. There's always got to be something better than what I came up with. So, with that being said, I am home, and I think that kind of covers the topic for this week. I hope that you will have a chance to, take a look at it, give it some thought, and, comment on it, right? Let me know. And more importantly, let other people know what you're thinking, right? Good ideas belong out in the open, right? Okay. Thanks, brothers. Have a great day. See ya.